What if I told you this new Bentley can outrun some supercars, glide like a private jet on wheels, and still feel like a handcrafted luxury lounge inside? The 2026 Bentley Flying Spur isn't just a refresh, it's Bentley quietly rewriting what a modern luxury sedan should be. More power, more tech, and a level of comfort that almost feels excessive, even by Bentley standards. But here's the real question. Is this brutal luxury upgrade actually worth it in today's market, or has Bentley gone too far? Stick around because the answer might surprise you. The Bentley Flying Spur has always been the quiet powerhouse of the Bentley lineup, a car built for buyers who want supercar-level performance without giving up limousine-level comfort. For 2026, Bentley is bringing the Flying Spur into a new era, blending its old-school British craftsmanship with modern performance tech and digital luxury that today's high-end buyers expect. Bentley, a brand known for hand-built interiors, massive engines, and understated elegance, designed the Flying Spur for people who want to be driven or do the driving themselves. It sits right between full-size luxury sedans and high-performance four-doors, competing with cars like the Mercedes Maybach S-Class, Rolls-Royce Ghost, and even high-end Porsche Panamera trims. This launch matters because the US luxury sedan market is changing fast. Buyers now want brutal performance, advanced tech, and sustainable options, all without sacrificing comfort or status. The 2026 Flying Spur promises upgrades across design, power, and technology, but the big question is whether it still delivers that unmistakable Bentley feel in a world that's going digital and electrified. In just a moment, we'll break down how this car looks, how it feels inside, and what really sets it apart, because on paper it sounds impressive, but the real story is in the details. This is where the 2026 Bentley Flying Spur really starts to flex, and not in an obvious, flashy way. From the outside, it still looks unmistakably Bentley, but the details are sharper and more confident. The massive grille stands taller, the LED lighting is slimmer and more aggressive, and the body lines feel tighter, like the car has been hitting the gym. It's elegant, but there's an underlying sense of muscle, especially when you see it rolling slowly past you or pulling up to a five-star hotel. Step inside and the mood shifts instantly. This isn't just a luxury interior, it's a handcrafted environment. Soft leather wraps nearly every surface, real wood or carbon trim feels cool to the touch, and the stitching alone looks like it took days to perfect. Bentley has also modernized the cabin, adding a larger digital display and updated infotainment, while still keeping physical buttons where they matter most. It's that balance between old-world craftsmanship and modern tech that Bentley buyers expect, and yes, it still smells incredible inside. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where things get interesting. The 2026 Flying Spur offers serious power, with multiple engine options depending on how bold you want to go. There's effortless acceleration that pushes you back into the seat, but what's surprising is how quiet and smooth it feels while doing it. Even at highway speeds, the cabin stays calm and isolated, like the outside world just fades away. And yet, switch into a sportier driving mode, and this big luxury sedan suddenly feels far more agile than it has any right to be. Technology plays a bigger role than ever. Advanced driver assistance features work quietly in the background, helping with lane control, adaptive cruising, and overall confidence on long drives. Rear seat passengers aren't forgotten either. Screens, controls, and comfort options turn the back seat into a first-class experience. Whether you're being chauffeured or driving yourself, the Flying Spur adapts to the role without feeling compromised. But it's not all perfect. That size and weight are still noticeable in tight city streets, and while Bentley has improved efficiency, this is still a car that prioritizes power and presence over fuel savings. And with all this luxury and performance, you already know the price tag is going to demand serious commitment, but how much is too much? Up next, we'll break down the standout highlights that make this Flying Spur special, and the few drawbacks that might make some buyers hesitate before signing that check. This is the moment where the 2026 Bentley Flying Spur stops being a luxury statement and proves what it's really about. On the open road, you press the throttle and the response is immediate. There's no drama, no wheel spin, no chaos. Just a massive surge of power that feels endless, smooth, and almost unreal for a sedan this size. The car stays flat, composed, and shockingly confident, even when pushed harder than most owners ever will. What really catches you off guard is how normal it feels doing extraordinary things. Tight corners don't feel intimidating. High speeds don't feel stressful, the steering is precise without being nervous, and the suspension reads the road like it knows what's coming next. This isn't just a luxury car pretending to be sporty, it's a genuine high-performance machine wrapped in hand-stitched leather. And then there's the silence. Even when you're moving fast, the cabin remains calm, isolated, and controlled. You hear just enough engine note to remind you what's under the hood, but never enough to break the luxury spell. It's the kind of experience that makes you glance at the speedometer and do a double take, because you're going much faster than it feels. But here's the twist. As impressive as it is to drive, the Flying Spur doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't try to shock you with aggressive theatrics. Instead, it wins you over quietly with confidence and refinement. That restraint is either its greatest strength or its biggest risk in a market filled with loud, attention-grabbing luxury sedans. So now the real question is whether the 2026 Flying Spur is fast or luxurious enough. It's whether this level of quiet dominance is exactly what today's buyers want. And that's where the final verdict gets interesting. So here's the bottom line. The 2026 Bentley Flying Spur delivers exactly what it promises, and in some ways even more. It's brutally fast when you want it to be, unbelievably comfortable when you don't, and wrapped in a level of craftsmanship that very few brands can still claim. This is a car that doesn't chase trends, it refines them. The biggest strengths are clear. The ride quality is smooth and controlled, the interior feels genuinely hand-built, and the performance is shockingly effortless for a full-size luxury sedan. It works just as well as a chauffeur-driven flagship as it does a high-speed Grand Tourer. On the flip side, there's no getting around the size, the cost of ownership, or the fact that this level of luxury isn't designed for buyers looking for tech-first minimalism or aggressive styling. This is confidence, not flash. For buyers who want the loudest statement or the most futuristic cabin, there are other options. But if you value presence, refinement, and power that doesn't need to announce itself, the Flying Spur hits a very specific sweet spot. In today's US luxury market, where electrification and digital overload are everywhere, Bentley's approach feels almost rebellious. It reminds us that luxury can still be emotional, tactile, and deeply personal. More importantly, the 2026 Flying Spur sets the tone for where ultra-luxury sedans may be headed next, blending modern performance and technology without losing identity. It proves there's still a place for craftsmanship and character, even as the industry evolves. Now the real question is this: if you were spending this kind of money, would you choose quiet dominance over loud luxury? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe for more in-depth car reviews, and tell us what you want to see next.